think you know, he's been working hard now for quite a while, and we brought him here to give us some depth on the back end. And at one point, you got to see him play and give him an opportunity to get in there. And I think tonight, this afternoon, was probably a good time for him to get himself going.
Is it one of those things where maybe it's going to take him more than 1 or 2 games to kind of, you know, get ready, where you'd have the confidence to put him in there in the playoffs, and he would have confidence in himself?
Well, we'll see. I think we'll wait and see how he does in this first game. That's I mean, there's lots of experience, but there's a guy coming in late in the season that hasn't played at all, and everybody right now is obviously playing at a pretty high pace. So we'll see how he handles himself today, and we'll make some decisions after that.
Coach, who's out? Who's out?
Well, there's Camphor is out for sure, and then we'll make a final decision after the warm-up with the other player.
John Boychuk go back in today, though, or?
He's in the warm-up.
Claude, in the larger context here, playing defense ever since the lockout, they take away the red line, they take away the interference, slowing guys up. What is it the defenseman has to do now that he wasn't doing 8 years ago, 10 years ago, in terms of speed and contending with that?
Well, you know, you're trying to keep a good gap, but at the same time, I think the one thing that has to happen is that he's got to be able to protect himself a lot better than before. That's the one thing that right when they put in that rule, we knew right away it would be a lot of strain on the D's, and then you've seen those kind of injuries, you know, whether it was Campbell and Ovechkin last year going to get the puck, and those kind of things are happening because of that. There was a time where, as a defenseman, you knew your forward or your partner was going to slow somebody down and give you time. So those are changes that they've made, and every team has handled it differently. We like to have our Ds obviously going back quickly and give each other an out to try and help themselves that way. I think you're seeing a lot more rims around the boards because obviously it's the only thing you can do when you can't slow people down. Haven't got time to kind of get the puck and start wheeling with it. So there's some changes that have been made there in regards to that, and I think a lot of it's on breakouts and how our Ds go back to get the puck.
So in that context, everyone says about where's the puck handling defenseman? Can that guy develop now?
Well, it's a lot harder. Obviously, you know, speed is something that becomes really important. You've seen that in some of those small defensemen that really pick up the puck and can wheel, but it's been a lot harder. I think where those Ds become pretty handy is probably on the neutral zone counters as well. They'll get the puck and then they'll start moving it up, and you know, and then jumping into the attack, and you know, that's part of the offensive defenseman's I guess criteria nowadays is how well he supports the puck, and when he does bring it up, sometimes it's D to D, and you'll see it give it right back to him at the net front. So not as much as you used to before, Kevin. Like you said, it used to be guys that would pick up the puck and they had room to skate because somebody had slowed somebody down. They don't have that much luxury nowadays.
You talk about just what Wheels and Stewie meant to this team when they were here, now that they're coming back here for the first time.
They were good players for us, you know, and I keep saying that you don't always trade players nowadays because you don't like them. You trade players today because of necessity, and you're trying to fill certain voids, and in order to do that, you got to move some players because of cap issues and everything else. So a lot of times some players are being sacrificed for the sake of others coming in, and I think both those guys have been were good assets to our hockey club, and it's too bad that you had to get rid of them, but that's the nature of the game nowadays.
The excitement level that they understandably will have, does that make them maybe even a little harder to, you know, play against? Does that give you an edge in maybe kind of knowing what to look for from those guys?
Well, they've got 2 and we've got 1, so that should be excited about today. But I think it's, you know, we all know how they play, and Stewie's a guy, I'm going to tell you right now, that I always said to play against him is never easy because he plays hard, and it's not fun to go in his corner. It's not fun to be around the net with him, and that's been his strength. And Will's speed is always had good speed, great on the forecheck, and those are things that we know about those guys, and certainly our guys have practiced against them enough that should be able to react.
Any update on Thornton? Has he been cleared medically yet? Or is that
no, he hasn't been cleared medically yet. Again, I think for guys that saw him yesterday, the swelling started to go down a little bit, and certainly making his sight even tougher to deal with right now. And hopefully next game, and we're going day by day with him.
And still plan is for Z to be in too?
Yeah, Z's out there tonight, this afternoon.
goal, that's 2 out there.
Yeah, two better than yesterday.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.